Hello everyone, welcome back to Thrive with Sushmita. In today's video, we will be talking about some words related to food and that will help you to speak English in a better way. So let's not waste any time and get started. To begin with, we will be first learning about some general food item vocabulary which will give you an insight into different kinds of words related to food. The first one is cuisine. Cuisine means it's a special or a style of cooking of a particular country or a region. Let's use it in a sentence like Italian cuisine is one of my favorites. The next is dish. Dish is part of a meal. For example, if I say Paneer Pasanda is my favorite dish. So it's part of a meal, a food item which is part of the meal. Next word is meal. Meal basically refers to the food or the entire thing that you eat at a particular time, like the breakfast, lunch, or dinner. If I use it in a sentence, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. The next is feast. Feast means a grand food or a grand table laid during celebrations. Like we had a grand feast during Diwali celebrations. Next is ingredients. It means all those items that you really need to cook something or to make a dish. For example, if you're making tea, you will need tea leaves, you will need milk, sugar, cardamom, ginger. So these are the ingredients. Let us use it in a sentence. Flour is an important ingredient for baking cakes. Next is recipe. Recipe basically is the guidelines or the instructions or the roadmap that you really need to use to prepare a dish. For example, if I am making tea, so the recipe starts like, and I need to place the pan, warm up the milk, add sugar, and then add tea leaves. This is the recipe or the step information that you really need to know while making something. The next one is snack or snacks. It is that part which is between meals, right? It is not a full meal, but it sometimes satiates your cravings. Cookies is my favorite snack. Like, or maybe I can say cookies is my favorite evening snack. So it is the interval between the lunch and dinner hours. So maybe at around 5:30 in the evening, I had 2 cookies just as snacks. The next one is appetizer. Appetizer is that part of the meal which is served just before the main meal, okay? It stimulates your appetite and makes you hungry to eat more. The next is dessert. Dessert is basically the sweet dish which is served after meals. Like chocolate cake is my favorite dessert. I like to dig into chocolate cakes after lunch. The next is beverage. Beverage means something to drink, that you drink, okay? You like to, for example, it can be anything hot or cold, maybe a fresh lime soda or a fresh juice. So that's beverage for you. The next one is gourmet. These are usually used in some fine dining restaurants. The dishes which really needs a lot of premium ingredients, a lot of expertise and an elaborate preparation. The next one is dairy. Dairy refers to all those items which are made from milk, like cheese, paneer, for that matter, cottage cheese. If we say paneer is cottage cheese, right? Curd, ghee. So these are all dairy products. Now, lactose intolerant. This is one word that you have been probably hearing very often these days, that people are lactose intolerant, which means they cannot digest milk and milk products, which is, they are allergic to it. Okay, so these were some general food items. Now, when you go to a restaurant, there are when you're going with your friends or family, when it is time to pay the bill, sometimes it is Dutched or split. Now, what is Dutch? Dutching means paying for what you have eaten. And split means dividing the total bill amongst the number of people who have gone together for a meal, right? Now let's move on to some taste. Oh my God, I am absolutely feeling hungry. We know about sweet, salty, bitter, and maybe spicy, right? Let's learn about some few more. Okay, the first one is umami. It's a strong savory taste, like soya sauce. It has got an umami taste. The next is savory, which is salty, I prefer savories over sweet dishes. So savory is basically all those which has got like, which is, the taste is salty and it is very, very pleasant or tasty in eating. The next is crunchy. It talks about all those crispy wafers. Do you remember the potato chips, the sound when you have those potato chips, right? The next one is juicy, which is full of juice. I got the taste of mango. Okay, so mango is like a juicy fruit, or watermelon is very fresh and juicy. Let's move to another section, which is about cooking and preparation time. Now, bake or baking. Baking is basically using an oven for cooking. We usually bake some cookies or some breads or maybe some cakes, for which we use an oven. The next is frying. It can be like shallow frying or deep frying, where you use some hot oil for cooking. Now for deep frying, which means you are absolutely, there's a lot of oil and you fry, whereas in shallow frying you don't use a lot of oil for it. Roasting is basically using dry heat, so no oil is used in roasting. Grilling is basically grilling something or making something over direct flame, like grilled fish or grilled chicken. So the technology of, we all have those barbecues, right? So where you grill or cook something in direct heat or direct flame. The next one is steam. Idlis, momo, they are steamed. So you use steam for cooking it. Like whenever you are making idli at home or your mama is making idli at home, you will see that there's some water, and when we cover it and when the water starts evaporating or it changes from its liquid state to its vapor state, and the food is cooked using steam. It is one of the healthiest way to eat. The next one is boil. So we just cook the food in water or any other liquid where it is boiled, and the food is cooked like the boiled vegetables. It's just that you take some water, you put some vegetables into it, and you just boil it. Okay. Now next word is chop. Chop means to cut it into small pieces, right? Or if you say minced, means the tiniest of pieces. Minced meat is what people say, and chopping means cutting into small pieces, like we chop the vegetables. The next one is blend. Blend as in to mix everything together. Blend the fruits and make a smoothie is what we all say. So you are putting everything and you are blending it or mixing everything properly. The next word is marinate. Now what do you mean by marinate? It means for some hours you cook, I won't say cook, but you soak the food into the sauce or any other paste that you have prepared. For example, if I really want to make some paneer tikkas, I would marinate the paneer with some ginger garlic paste and other ingredients and soak the paneer into it completely. That is called marinating. The next word is seasoning. Seasoning is about adding some herbs and some spices. This is usually at the end of something. Like we also say in Hindi, हम कहते हैं ना दाल में छौंक लगाना. That is about seasoning the dal, or it is like adding some herbs and spices, usually at the end of the preparation. Okay, that adds a flavor and gives a nice taste to it. The next word that we will be reading or learning about is, let's again categorize it. Dining. The words associated with dining. The first one is buffet. Now, when you go to some big restaurants, you will say they are serving buffet, which means they have laid down a variety of dishes to choose from. So you can pick whatever you would like to eat from that spread which is there. The next one is a la carte. A la carte basically means ordering the food that you would want to enjoy. You're not interested in the buffet. Probably you would like to have something, one specific dish. So you order for that. That is a la carte. The next is platter. Platter means a big plate and a lot of, the food served of same quantity. I would say some big quantity, but in the same genre. Like if I say a vegetarian kebab platter is one thing, one of my favorite food that I order. So it had like, some kebabs of paneer and some of potatoes, some of broccoli, some corn. So that's a platter. The next is tableware. So these, like when you have guests or like when you go to restaurants, when you lay down the table, right, you put the plates, you plate the quarter plates, the fork, the spoon, the knife, what you will be placing. So all those things that you will be needing to lay down your dining table, that's tableware. So these were some terms that we used, and we got some information about, words related to food. Now what I have done is I have used few of these words in the form of paragraph. Let us read it together. Food is a beautiful combination of ingredients that come together to create delicious dishes. From a light appetizer to a hearty meal, each course offers its unique flavors. Some meals are gourmet, made with carefully selected seasonings and cooked with precise techniques like grilling or roasting. Whether you're enjoying a sweet dessert like a chocolate cake or a savory platter of roasted vegetables, food always brings comfort. A beverage like freshly brewed coffee can perfectly complement your meal, making it a complete serving of joy. The diversity in cuisines around the world ensures that every bite is an adventure, from spicy curries to sour salads, offering something for every taste preference. So see how I used the words in the form of a paragraph, like ingredients, delicious dishes, appetizer, hearty meal. Now what is hearty meal? Which means the meal you full, you're so happy, it made you so happy. Food actually makes all of us very happy. Then flavors, the kind of the taste, like, the burst of flavors. It's like the sweet and sour and tangy and bitter and, all those tastes, those flavors. Meals I discussed with you, gourmet I discussed with you, seasonings I discussed with you, right? Beverage, brewed coffee, like, when you're brewing tea leaves or you're brewing those coffee beans, which adds that aroma and that wonderful texture and taste. Cuisines. So in this way, how I used the words that we learned today or we discussed. I am sure now you will also be using these words. Like if someone tells you, or maybe you are, there are some guests at your home, you can always say, I'll give you a freshly brewed coffee. See, instead of telling that, okay, would you like to have coffee? I just said it in a different way. Would you like to have some freshly brewed coffee? And I'm sure even if the person wanted to say a no, would say, oh yes, I would like to have a freshly brewed coffee. How interesting it is. So see how your words can also add that magic of taste to the food that you are trying to serve. So this was all about today. We will meet in the next video and learn something new. Till then, keep learning, keep thriving, keep shining. Thank you so much.